Hello, welcome back to the channel. Coming up in this episode.
It's early in the morning. I've got 48 hours left. Where could we go and explore?
I would never do more than the speed limit at all, in any way.
This is just an action camera. Where's the real cameras?
And if that wasn't extremely random, I don't know what was.
Well, you know this is going to be good, so let's get into it. Cue the intro.
Okay, here's the thing. It's early in the morning. I've got 48 hours left with the Street Twin before Triumph come and collect it. And I've done my reviews. I've done a few little bits with it. But now it's time to make this last 48 hours be the most important 48 hours of this bike's life. And of course, what else would it be than a little mini helmet head adventure? Okay, so the question has to be, we're starting from here. In 48 hours, where could we go and explore?
I'm buzzing, let's drink up. Your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Like that Marvin Gaye song. I'm stunning, you love it. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it. Come on, give me something. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young and so are we.
Okay, so 48 hours and I've picked the perfect place. It's going to take me nearly 2 hours to get there, but I'm going to go to the Peak District to do some of the most famous roads in the UK to really give the Street Twin a run for its money and get that final bit of enjoyment before I have to hand it back to Triumph. So I'm going to knuckle down, hammer down all these boring main roads and hopefully get there, if the weather lets me, and make one of the most awesome little mini-series. Let's be quite frank, the best ever series on the Street Twin in the world.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole.
Okay, so I'm almost there. I've pulled in just for a stretch because I've got a rucksack on and it's getting uncomfortable. Now, what I want to turn around and say quite clearly is that I would never do more than the speed limit at all, in any way. But just say we were talking about money for a minute and I had 70 pence and I added another 30 pence to get to that 100 pence, then what I'll turn around and say is that you probably need to look at the Triumph's accessories when you're ordering your Street Twin. Get basically the screen put on, because the wind buffering at 100 pence is incredibly a lot, and it would really help. And the other side of it is, like I said, the rucksack is getting a little bit uncomfortable. It'd be worth looking at the accessories, look at the luggage options for this bike, because it'd be nice to put, you know, some of the pies and stuff that you've bought and some of the ale you've brought with you for the trip in the panniers, to make sure you haven't got a rucksack on that weighs an incredible ton and starting to give you really bad shoulder ache. Anyway, I'm going to jump back on the bike and keep going. Okay, so I'm off the motorway now, and it's nice to be off the motorway. Now, I've done a thing. I've done a pretty big thing. I have taken sort of my influence from some of the biggest motorcycle kind of adventures ever, like the Long Way Round, where they had a camera guy called Claudio. So my thing is, I Googled the world's leading best motorcycle adventurer cameraman, and I got a result. So I hired him. Now, I've agreed to meet this world-leading cameraman, the guy that can go into the bush, hold the camera, and get that perfect shot of me riding along, at Matlock Bath. So that's where I'm headed to right now, is Matlock Bath, to meet the man who I'm going to give him the most expensive camera kit in the world. Because, to be quite frank, I've got to impress Triumph, because Triumph UK have sent me this press bike and I want them to send me many more. So I'm going to make this the best street twin adventure in the world, because I've hired the best cameraman in the world. So let's go find him and let's make the magic happen. Well, I've made it to the secret location near Matlock Bath, where I'm meeting the most awesomest cameraman in the world, and he's arrived. So ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the man that charges an incredible amount of money to get the best action shots in the world, to make this street twin video, this adventure, the biggest, bestest ever to hit YouTube. So you're my famous cameraman, and I've googled you, and you go by your show name as Mr. Dazza, and you've obviously come on a 10 array that's designed to go into the mountains, into the fields, where you can obviously get those awesome action shots to make this the best street twin, like, mini adventure ever.
Yeah.
Now, you've asked me to be respectful and not use any of your actual real name or anything like that, because
That's
obviously
right, yeah.
you just go by your stage name.
Yeah.
And I know you don't want to be on camera too much, but I just want to say thank you for coming. Thank you to like agreeing to this.
Yeah,
I know you've helped on some of the biggest productions going, like Bottom Gear and The Long Way to the Bottom. So it should be quite good.
Yeah.
Now, part of the fee that you agreed, because I couldn't afford the whole fee, I kind of said I'll bring the camera stuff with me, so you can just bring yourself.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you, right, so this is what we've got, right? Well, there is the camera for you to take away, go into the bushes, do your thing and capture it.
This is just an action camera. Where's the real cameras?
Well, that's all we need, isn't it?
Well, I guess it'll have to do. But I mean, I'm used to a film crew and proper cameras. So we're going to at least 4 cameras, surely.
Well, if you turn it off and on 4 times in different angles, you can get it. I tell you how good that camera is, right? I've used it in so much stuff. It's been some of the best YouTube footage in the entire world. And it even recently fell over, smashed on the floor. And thanks to Graham Beeshold, who super chatted me the money, I managed to get a new lens for that to make it like new. So the thing of it is, with your write-up and how professional you are, look at it like your old film days when you first went to sort of training school and college. And then you kind of had the cameras that you used to wind up.
Yeah.
Just treat it like that, and then I'm sure with your skills we'll pull off some of the best footage in the world.
Well, we can but try, but I can't promise anything.
Well,
we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Well, thank you, Daryl, so much for your help and support and being here today. And let's get going. And I'm pretty sure we can pull off something amazing.
Let's hope so. I'm not sure though.
So, I have my cameraman. I have the most gorgeous ever street twin, the Gold Line edition. And all I've got to do now is make that most amazing cinematic footage on some of the most famous roads. Now, my cameraman has already said to me that he might shoot off, and if I see a rummage in the bushes, it's just him getting that extra perfect cinematic shot, and just to keep on going down the famous passes. I don't really know if I'm even going the right way. I don't think he knows if we're going the right way, but we're looking for those famous passes to show off the street twin. So this should be good. Hopefully now I can show you some awesome cinematic, dramatic, perfect shots. Well, we've kind of got ourselves a bit lost now. The cameraman was trying to find the perfect shot. I was following him, and we ended up completely lost. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to find the snake pass to film the street twin on one of the most famous roads in the world. And we are getting there. We have checked on Google. We are getting there, and we're about 4 or 5 miles away. But we've just come across, as you can see in front of me, this absolute bliss of a road. So I'm going to take the Gold Line, the street twin, down here and have a little bit of fun, because this this is what this bike is made for. So yeah, here we go. I'm excited, I'm not going to lie. I just need to be able to start the bike. There we go. Listen though to this engine. Now, I want to be completely clear, because of the sound of this bike, I keep dropping back and then gunning it, and then dropping back and gunning it, because it's got such like that rasp kind of sound to it. It's really incredible. But anyway, like I said,
I'm going to take this bike down that road in front of me. It looks like it twists and turns really nicely. And I think it leads to the Snake Pass. But yeah. Anyway, shall we do it? And do it in style? Because this is what it's all about. This bike is all about style. And I've come to film this bike on some of the best roads. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's do this. Let's have some serious fun. Now, there's some cars went shortly beforehand. Make sure we're clear behind. Make sure there's nothing coming. Give them just a few more seconds. And then I'm going to gun it. And have some serious giggles. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go! Oh, that sounds good. Woo! Some more. Slow down. Drop it in. Oh, look at this! Power! This bike is made for this. Drop it down. Power through. Oh. What a ride. What a ride. Anyway, we're in Bradwell now because they decided to call this Bradwell. Very nice indeed.
Well, at last, as I turn right just down here, we're on Snake Road, aka Snake Pass. And it should get a little bit more exciting because this is why we've come all this way to show this bike off in its element properly on a famous pass. And look, the sign says Snake Pass.
Here is the world famous Snake Pass. It better be good. Let's go. Let's let this beautiful bike do its thing. Now we've got Lady Bower Reservoir next to us on the left. And it sort of goes back there and it's an old famous bomber thing. It's such an exciting historical place. If you're into history, go and Google it. I'm not going to tell you, you'll get bored. Anyway, let's go.
Well, we came to an abrupt stop and now we know why. Well, yeah, there you go. That's why we came to a stop. Huh? Get a bit close for my liking. Do you reckon they feel a bit sheepish?
Well, if that wasn't extremely random, I don't know what was. Anyway, ladies and gents, this is the famous Snake Pass in all its glory. So anyway, let's have some fun, eh? Let's have some fun. And that's pretty much Snake Pass. It was a bit of a blast, a bit of a giggle, and it felt good on this bike. The problem, as always, is just cars getting in the way. But listen to this thunder. This bike is thundering through it. It's unreal. So much fun. And then all I need to do is find another pass before we head to the accommodation, and then we've only got tomorrow left. But I've brought this bike all this way to experience some famous passes, and I'm experiencing them bit by bit by bit. I mean, it is spectacular, but I need to find somewhere a little bit more quiet for that next level of cinematic fun, that next level of pure bike, basically porn.
Okay, after doing the Snake Pass, we've got to do one more pass before we head to the hotel and lose a few hours while we need to get some sleep. But we're now going to do Winits Pass, world famous, on the street twin, so it's going to be absolutely epic, and it'll be a nice way of finishing it. We've done some serious miles today, and the bike is just making me smile more and more and more, but I'm finally getting to the point where my bum is actually starting to hurt, so it's about time I stop for a pint. But first of all, let's get one of the most famous passes in the UK under our belts.
Well, here we go. And the one thing about this place, full stop, is that it's just busy. It's just full of tourists and it's just crazy busy. So I'm just going to poodle up here and take in the vista, because just look at it. It's spectacular, and everyone just poodles up here at ridiculously slow and down ridiculously slow. And giving it the beans is what I want to do, but I know I can't. So I'm just going to poodle with the street twin and enjoy it and let this just be nice. But wow. Wow, wow, wow. Taking me on some nice roads. It's the kind of place you want to really blap it through to get that engine noise echoing off. But I know I can't, and I know I can't do what I want to do. So just enjoy it, just take it in. Second gear, this is quite steeper than it looks. Just poodles up. See what I mean? I've got lots of power still, it's not struggling. Good old Bonnie engine. This is just really cool. We're losing light as well, so it's not a cinematic as I'd want it to be with the sun, but still, it's still good. Still good indeed.
Well, the views are fantastic, and do you know what? I'd keep riding the street twin more because it is just making me smile so much. It's just meant for these kind of roads. Unfortunately, it's been a bit slow going because of the amount of traffic on the roads this weekend, but it is what it is, as always. Now, the one thing I'm going to do now is head to my accommodation.
Okay, so I've just arrived at the hotel, and to be completely honest, I'm feeling a bit knackered. I have been on the road since 9 o'clock this morning. I haven't really stopped, and I kind of feel a little bit disappointed because this street twin is really good. I mean, I've ridden it until it's dark, and the roads today have been really busy, and I would have liked to have got more camera in and more footage in, but at the end of the day, I'm shattered. Right now, I'm knackered. And I know tomorrow's going to be another day, and it's going to be another day I get to show off exactly what that bike can do, because it looks gorgeous. It sounds gorgeous. And I know if I saw it go by, I'd be staring at it. But to ride, until you get on to a street twin and really appreciate the lightness and the power, it's just, you turn that throttle and it just, woof, it goes. And for a 900cc, it's massively impressive. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm going to go grab myself a beer now. I'm going to chill out, get myself some food, and then tomorrow is another day, and my last day to experience that awesome bike. And I hope tomorrow that the camera work is going to be as good as that bike, but I have a feeling that that bike's just, it's going to be hard to put across on camera exactly how good it really is. But as a weekender so far, I've ridden it since basically it's got light until it gets dark. And I'm looking forward to riding it again tomorrow.